Hey everyone, Unreal Engine 5.4 is here. Check some of the highlights. First up, UE 5.4 has powerful new tools for setting up and animating characters directly in the editor. With Modular Control Rig, you can build animation rigs from understandable parts instead of complex granular graphs. Here you can see us setting up a leg in just a few steps. Automatic retargeting makes it faster and easier to get great results when using bipedal character animation of known skeletal types. The skeleton editor is now more performant and offers
you can
more
see like the lines
functionality.
and shit, right? How it moves around, like the shoulder bones even.
There's also a suite of new functions that make the deformer graph more accessible. For animation authoring, we focused on making our tools more intuitive and robust while streamlining workflows.
Oh my god.
Case in point, animation-friendly gizmos means you can quickly and easily pose characters using just the middle mouse button. And finally, Sequencer gets a significant makeover with better readability and
I find it like it's crazy to see how like people can make stuff with this, but what's even more crazy for me is to see how somebody was able to make this tool. Like I can't even like comprehend like what it would involve in order to make a tool like this. It's like so obviously like and easily intuitive. This would be so good for AA games. Yeah, this is what I was saying, right? Like I made a video about this and I talked about how there's a lot of games now that look really good, but they're bad games.
improved usability.
I think
including a
Unreal
new
5
layered
kind of allows
control
that to
rigs
happen.
Feature. Motion matching is now more robust, performant,
Jesus.
and memory scalable. Now production ready, this toolkit is used to select and transition animation clips at runtime by searching a database of captured animation, using the current motion information of the character in the game as the key. There's also a suite of debugging tools that gives visibility into its inner workings.
This is just fucking insane to me, man. You would need a NASA computer for anything made with this? Do you know what's so crazy about that? Is the fact that you're totally wrong. That's what's so crazy. That's probably like, I mean, everything about, like, before Unreal 5, you had a lot of games that still had really photorealistic graphics. But the one thing that was like a massive update with it was the fact that the performance was just incredible. Because, yeah, that was the case for like 15 years.
We've invested significant effort into improving rendering performance in
Yeah,
UE
DLSS,
5.4.
yeah, exactly.
This includes refactoring the systems to enable a greater degree of parallelization, adding GPU instance culling to hardware ray tracing, optimizing shader compilation, and more. Nanite continues to receive enhancements, starting with a new tessellation feature that enables fine details, such as cracks and bumps, to be added at render time without altering the original mesh. Plus, the addition of software variable rate shading via Nanite compute materials brings substantial performance gains.
I think one thing to me is like, now that I see this happen, I become less and less impressed by graphics because of just how easy it is to achieve something that's of this high quality. I think a good example of this is like the day before, where like the game looked visually pretty appealing, but it was just a terrible game.
Temporal Super Resolution has received stability and performance enhancements to ensure
lot of games have
predictable
good graphics,
output
but are garbage
regardless
nowadays, yeah.
of the target platform. And finally, Movie Render Graph, a major update to the Movie Render Queue, enables you to set up render layers with a node-based architecture. Next up, UE 5.4 introduces a new motion design mode that's been developed in conjunction with leading broadcasters. It's equipped with specialized tools for authoring complex 2D motion graphics, including 3D shapes, cloners, effectors, modifiers, animators, and more. In this release, the virtual camera tool is now supported on Android as well as iOS. VCam workflows are also now fully supported in Unreal Engine on macOS. On the VR scouting front, we've introduced a new...
This is nuts, man. Like, I think this stuff is so cool. Too bad all devs care about graphics and use this bullshit before core gameplay. Well, I think that, like, so a tool like this is, like, a really great equalizer, and that's a good and a bad thing. So there's a lot of people that Unreal 5 allows them to make a game that they've never had the, like, they've never been able to make before, right? Like, they had an idea of, like, what they wanted this game to be, but like Unreal 5 like kind of enables this to happen. But the problem is that all ideas are not created equal. And so you have some games that come out and they look phenomenal. They look amazing, but this game is terrible. It should have never been made. But the reason why it's possible now is because of Unreal 5. So like it gives people that could never make a game the opportunity to make a game, and it also gives people that should never make a game the opportunity to make a game. And that's what's happening. And I think it's just getting more and more popular.
Fully customizable toolkit
What's
that
fallen? There's
utilizes
a lot of games
XR
like that.
Creative Framework to support open XR HMDs such as Oculus and Valve Index. For ICVFX, we've added depth of field compensation for in-display. Using the real world's camera position and lens parameters, it renders a corrected depth of field in Unreal Engine on the LED wall to compensate for the additional blurring introduced by the physical
So
lens.
they're trying to, so they're like creating a, like doing this. Oh my God. That is amazing. Make sure I get this right here. It's basically the film effect. Oops. Now I fucked up my thing. I think that's... I should not have fucking touched it. Yeah, all right, we're good. It's called focus, yes.
Along with other depth of field enhancements, this dramatically improves the realism and plausibility of LED wall shots. New in this release is Unreal Cloud DDC, a self-hosted cloud storage system for the Unreal Engine-derived data cache. Designed for distributed users and teams, it enables you to efficiently share Unreal Engine cached data across public network connections. Our local DDC also now uses a new server architecture, offering improved data conditioning performance, faster load times and Pi workflows, and other benefits. These are just some of the highlights of the Unreal Engine 5.4. You can find out more about all the new features and download the release on UnrealEngine.com. Enjoy!
This is fucking crazy. Next-gen engines, but no next-gen game. I think the next gen is going to be able to play... It's going to be being able to play games that are like really high quality on lower quality devices. Because I do think that we are beginning to hit kind of like a plateau with like realism. Like the level of realism here, like yes, it can get better, but realistically by the time that you get to Unreal 6 and Unreal 7, you know, like we're approaching photorealism already. So like after you hit photorealism, how do you go farther than that? Well, then you increase the quality and the performance. And so that's what I think is going to happen. We need the next gen GPU. Yeah, and what I'm really hoping is going to happen is that like right now, gaming in general, especially PC gaming, is still prohibitively expensive. Like if you want to build your own PC and you want to have like a really good gaming PC, you're looking at like absolute minimum $2,000. And I'm talking about like a very good gaming PC. I'm not talking about, yeah, you can build one for like maybe $1,100, something like that, $1,200. But in general, like you're looking at $2,000 absolute omega minimum, $3,000, $4,000 if you're getting something like a 4090 or something like that in it. So that is just like such a prohibitively high price for an average consumer. So it's still an enthusiast thing. But what's going to eventually happen is that the quality on this is going to get so good, then the performance is going to be a factor, and that's whenever you're going to see more people that are going to be able to get into it. I've said this many times, right? It is a dream of mine. I don't think that it will ever happen, but I always have wanted to be able to sell a $1,000 gaming PC. Like just a straight up big black box. That's what I'm going to call it. And I would love to do that. And I think that if they keep making the quality on these games like better and better in terms of like the way that, you know, they're rendered and everything, I think it might be possible. I kind of like, I mean, again, I don't find it likely, but it could happen. Not a box, a case. Yeah, but a case doesn't sound good. Oh, BB, yeah, right. Yeah, maybe, yeah, big, yeah, sure. I don't know, guys. Yeah, second edition will be a bigger, blacker box. Yeah, I guess so. Do you think everything will be cloud gaming? Yes, I do. I think that I think that, yeah, I think it'll be cloud gaming in the same way that some people still watch DVDs now, but the majority of people stream. And I think gaming is going to go to the same way, where like you don't even have the games loaded onto your PC. I don't know if that's going to happen though. Rip bandwidth? Well, there's been a lot of things to like improve the quality of bandwidth as well. NVIDIA CEO mentioned that we'll be moving away from rendering graphics and go into generating graphics. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that the level of quality that these games are going to have soon is just, like, astonishing. I'll link you guys the video, too, if you want to look at it. We need a mass-produced gaming PC for under $1,000 that can play anything. Well, the problem is that that's called a PlayStation 5, or, like, that's called an Xbox, and it still can't do that. I don't know exactly, like, I think you're going to need to have, like, at least 2 more technological innovations in order for that to, like, really happen. Because right now, I'm just not really seeing it. DLSS is going to be the norm, so GPUs will go back to being smaller and more efficient because you can generate frames with AI. Yeah, it's like, that's basically my understanding of DLSS, is it's, like, one big part of it is, like, AI frame generation. Like, for example, like, I have a 4090 in my PC, and it is bigger than this box. And it is a lot bigger. Not like just a little bit bigger. It's way bigger. It's bigger than my Steam Deck. It is gigantic. It's basically the size of a PlayStation 2. That's the best way I can say it. Yeah.